Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be talking about a guy that I've actually spoken about before, a guy called Orange Spartan. I had a real mess up on the channel. What happened was, I think YouTube, when I was doing the upload or something happened where instead of being the 20-minute video that I did of one of his gameplays or a commentary video of one of his gameplays, it uploaded and cut to like 4 minutes. So I was watching it, I was enjoying it, I did not expect this to happen, and then suddenly it cut out. So I owe this guy big time. He actually made a comment on there, was like, hey, this is annoying that we didn't get to see the rest of it. I'd love to see actually your commentary on my gameplay. It was an awesome video about an MP9 or him using an MP9 which he used to use, and I love my MP9. I've been trying to build it out, and so I basically need to do another video on this guy's content. For one, because he was a really nice guy and started making comments, but actually I loved the content, and if you actually are a fan of this channel or you like what I talk about, then I think it's probably going to be one of those channels that I'd say go and check out the content, because I really enjoy it, so you may well enjoy it as well. And I just want to actually watch this next video that he's released. Now, I saw literally the day after this happened that he released another video, and this one I think it's called Is Digital Night Vision Worth the Hype? So it's going to be about digital night vision as opposed to being more gameplay, I think. But we're going to watch it. We're going to check it out. I've got some knowledge on night vision. I've got a pair of night vision myself. I've played some games with night vision. So hopefully I've got a little bit to add on this. But this guy's channel is amazing. I'll show you what it looks like right up here. Orange Spartan, a huge channel, 158,000 subscribers. He's a Brit, so of course I love him. And this was the video. Unfortunately, I messed up right here. Let me show you my face as well. This was the video I messed up, which was about his P90 right there. And then this is going to be the one we're going to watch now. So let's have a look, and I'll give you my thoughts as we watch through it.
Exploring. Spartans, welcome back. Today we have got our hands on night vision. For some reason, BINOCK thought it would be a great idea to send it out as a sponsored video. There's no exchange of funds. So now I can use night vision in all of my Airsoft games, the ones at night at least.
Okay, so I think BINOCK actually reached out to me as well. I find it really funny. Like, I think when you get to a certain level of like channel size, which we broke 10,000 subscribers. Thank you guys so much for doing that, for supporting the channel to get it to that stage. But it seems like some companies will reach out to all of the creators at the same time. Like, hey, we've got a new product, here it comes. So they actually, I think, haven't continued the conversation, or I should follow up. But I definitely was speaking to a company about sending some digital night vision to me. And to be honest, it looks pretty cool. I find there's going to be certain things that are great with digital night vision, and my thoughts without using it myself, just seeing reviews on it, is that it could be great for Airsoft. Like, night vision generally is very, very expensive, like insanely expensive. You know, like I think I've got dual tube PVS 14s, so they're kind of like the two single tubes but with a bridge, so that they're running separately but giving me kind of full vision. Those cost, I think, secondhand, I got a great deal with them, about $3.5 grand. So it shows you, like, green phosphorus, like, shows you how much you can spend on this. If you are wanting to have some night vision functionality, but you're playing Airsoft, you don't really need it to, like, the professional level. I think that this could be something really good, so I'm quite excited to see what he says.
And stalk my...
Also, those headsets, what was that headset he was wearing? That is really, really cool. I want to check that out, because that is like an open ear. I've seen it, feel like I've seen those before, but I've always thought, like, how does that really work? But now I've seen them. I suppose you don't have noise cancellation. This video is not about that, so let's move on.
Night at least, and stalk my favourite YouTubers. Just kidding, don't do that. We've got our hands on a set of NVG50s, so we're going to be playing with them in a night game. And I will tell you the honest pros and cons to running digital night vision. So in the first half of this game, I'm running no IR light. This is all natural light from the floodlights and the moonlight, the stars. There's no artificial torch, just the laser. One thing these digital night visions are really good for is the adjustment to light. I think it really handles dealing with different light sources. Now, I'll show you later on in the video, but there's a £1,000 set of night vision that I've tested these against, and 7,500. These are both analogs, and I think it dealt with the light changes much better. It deals with the ambient light, and I don't know if it's a sensor thing, but I think it just drew it in a little bit better.
Presumably if you block the sensor, it did not really affect that. Oh, that's so cool. It's very closed in though, isn't it, compared to like his normal footage? Zoomed. Shot. I wonder what he's using as direct. Maybe he's MP9 again.
Oh man, Adam, was that you? How you managed to get me between the shoulder blades? I don't have a green laser.
Is he actually wearing blue, or is that glasses blue? Grass is blue. So
the ability to just point and shoot when you've zeroed in an IR laser that no one else can see, unless they're using nods obviously, is so satisfying. It is probably one of the most satisfying experiences in Airsoft, just pointing your laser and knowing that that target's gone. It's actually really fun.
So I've played actually a couple of games like this, where a couple of my friends and I, that's sweet, have had nods and no one else has, who's been playing like a night game. Similar environment, like outdoor, like fairly close. Yeah, he's just not taking it. Fairly close range-ish. And it is so amazing how unfair it is. And you can see someone walking around doing all of this stuff. And you can literally, as you said, just point your IR.
So from here out, we're now going to use the IR light whilst we're playing, so which is like an invisible torch to the naked eye. You immediately you can see much better with the light. However, it does make you shine like an absolute lamppost. I'll show you what it looks like under analog nods when you turn around and you've got an IR light on your head.
Turn around and look at you.
What?
I'm like a beam.
Yes, you're not a beam, just like the lamp.
So as you can see, you do literally light up like a lamp when someone else has got nods and they can see your IR light on. And
like
with here, you can see, as I'm looking around, you can see it's like a bright torch under nods. It's beneficial, however, it's not tactical. So if you're playing against someone with nods, you're gonna be quite bright and quite illuminated.
I suppose that's the best place to test it.
One thing people say is the major drawback of digital nods is the refresh rate. Now this has got a 2.5K by 40 frames, and I found I could run around, maneuver perfectly fine with very little lag. There was not a lot of latency at all, and I imagine if I was using duals, I'd probably not even notice it at all.
Then if you were using duals, it would just delay everything. Well, I suppose that wouldn't be as bad, but maybe actually if one was working faster than the other one, like the hardware just wasn't synced, maybe that would disorient me. Oh god, like just being able to watch someone. Pause quickly. So I was at Milson West one time, sorry, this is a little interlude, and we were playing for the NATO side, and the other team were playing Ops 4, and the Russians effectively, and we had a squad, I think of 8 of us, all of us had nods. We could literally see this guy coming from so far away. We saw him like trying to like come up close to where our camp was, and we managed to literally go and walk circles around him, encircle him. He was hiding behind a tree, kind of like looking onto where we used to be, and there was a group of us, and I literally had like 8 of us guys all circling this guy. He had no idea we were there, and then suddenly we all like basically on our comms were like fire, and we all shot him at the same time. It was the most... It kind of felt cruel, to be honest, because it was so unfair, but it was just one of the funnest things ever, because you're literally like, it's like stalking like someone who just can't see. Like, it was so dark, and you can see everything as clear as day, and it was almost watching his face and his reactions, being like, ooh, where am I? Where are they? Oh, like, and all of this, and you just are like, there, like, hold on, I can see everything you're doing. So, yeah, so that was brilliant.
So sorry, I was aiming behind you.
In the face.
Are you okay?
So I've told you about some of the things I like about it, the fact that you can record, the fact that you can plug in a...
So recording I think is a big one, because otherwise you have to have like a little camera underneath. Like I've got a camera that will go into my nods, but like thinking about that is really annoying. If you're actually just watching it and it's recording the whole time, I think that's big.
External power source, which is really helpful. The fact...
External power source for me, that's kind of like good that you could plug it in externally, but I presume that means that it's not waterproof, and I presume that also means, like with my like PVS 14s, it literally just takes a AA battery that I can just stick in there and it lasts for a very long time. If I need to replace it, I've just got another AA battery, I'll put it in there. Uses very little power because it's literally just kind of like intake from the light from the moon or for external light sources. And obviously like that cap, basically, as long as that cap isn't, you know, the O-ring doesn't go, then it's going to be waterproof, and obviously the weight's a lot less. So I presume this is a lot heavier with a heavier battery. helicopter flying over right now. A lot heavier battery and having to have wires, etc.
In fact, it's got the ability to change different colours, so you go from white phosphor to green to black and white, and there is a colour version, but it's not really colourful. I think there's a built-in compass, and it's waterproof as well, which is really handy. Oh, there's a few reasons why.
It is waterproof, so maybe that's wrong from me. I presume though, if you've got it plugged into an external power source, then it wouldn't be waterproof.
I probably wouldn't purchase this myself as an airsoft. Number one is the field of view. The field of view was really difficult to deal with. It might be because I was just using one lens instead of like duals. I think I'd be open to trying duals and seeing if that would change the experience. The one lens with your left eye still getting that ambient light was really disorientating. You're trying to walk around, but you've got like a one-time zoom. Just an example, as you walk through this fence, you'll see it's just so zoomed in, and trying to like go over steps and things. I found I was walking into barrels and all sorts of things. I could barely see the sort of end of my gun as I was using it. If they could widen the field of view with maybe a lens, I don't know how that would affect a sensor, or potentially with jewels sort of connecting to each other, or I don't know. Maybe I'd be open to sort of exploring those avenues. Now, the second thing that was really bugging me, and honestly it was a piece of crap, was the mount. It was driving me insane. I don't know why. It's on like a swivel. And
so that looks just like a cheap, awful GoPro mount. I presume you could get like a dovetail mount that would go into like a Wilcox where like the normal NVG would go, but that does look really bulky, and like I don't know why.
As you're walking around, it's adjusting too low, it's going too high, you're trying to change it as you're playing, things like this. And making those adjustments while you're trying to game, while you're trying to rely on sort of a piece of technology, it's not worthwhile. If you're going through a woodland game, a slower paced field game, that kind of thing, I could understand it, but trying to play through CQB, through tight and confined areas, and you're already suffering from the one-time zoom to the point that I had to close my eye the whole time in my off eye. The mount just constantly changing position and having to adjust it and grunch the thing tight, it was killing me. It was actually killing me. I hear that there's a Wilcox mount. I think there's an adapter to fit to a Wilcox mount. I'd be much more open to trying this. My friend Eric, he had analogs, and the mounts for those were much better because they just lock in place and it's secure to your head. Whereas this was adjusting constantly, no matter how much you tightened it down. For fishing, for hunting, things like that, I imagine these are excellent. But trying to use it sort of in a semi-simulated combat situation was challenging, really challenging. And a final piece, and I don't know if this is a one-off experience, but my plug just broke completely. I'll show you a clip of it here. Literally was plugged in.
What is the cost of it?
As I pulled it out, came away, and it was I literally was just pulling it gently. It's not really safe because like all this comes out as well now. I'm sure that this is just something that they buy and throw in rather than something that BINOCK actually make themselves, but not good. I think maybe this needs to be changed, like just change supplier or something for your chargers. Now, one thing you got to bear in mind here is they're £360, so they're not super cheap, but they're not sell your car and buy a set of nods expensive. They're not £3,000, £4,000, £5,000, you know. There's a lot you get for your money here. I'm just not entirely sure from a very new NVG user and someone that plays a lot of CQB airsoft. I'm not sure I'd see the benefits. I can imagine that there's probably a million different uses that you could use these for. That would be excellent. For me, in a CQB environment, they just weren't ticking the box completely. Maybe with some jewels, maybe with some field of view change. We'll see maybe in the future. Maybe with different mount as well. However, I am really grateful for the opportunity to put this video together. So a massive thanks to BINOCK for sending this out. Hope you guys have enjoyed it. Sorry if I wasn't super pro to the NVG digital users. I appreciate that maybe I'm expecting a little bit too much. Pop your experiences down below with digitals. Have you had any ways of working around this? I'd love to hear, because you know I'd like to get these to work kind of the way I need them to. Thank you very, very much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.
Okay, well that was really cool. I think I've heard like a similar thing, to be honest. I've definitely heard like from what he was. Oh, my headset just started talking to me. I think that, to be honest, like it seems like the technology is almost there, or it's very close to being there. So if someone released a product, and I don't know if there's one out there, if there is, put it down below, with that wider field of view, a mount should be fairly easy to fix, and like the fine tweaks and like extras, then I think, you know, it's definitely something that if it was me and I'm like, hey, I don't have night vision and I wanted to be able to see in the dark, and it was £400 or $400 as opposed to being like $4,000, that for me is a big, like, okay, fine, I'll just put up with these. I'm not going to use them that much. I thought I would use my actual night vision a lot more than I really do. Like, I'll use them for Milson West events. I'll use them very occasionally, and it's very cool to like show off to your friends, like, oh, have you ever seen in the dark? And mostly the reaction on that is like, wow, this is pretty awesome. Because I think people see it in the movies, they see it in video games, and that's what they like. But anyway, guys, big shout out to Orange Spartan. I thought that was another awesome video. Really love his like editing designs and styles. I'll do a little pan through here. As I said, I'll be a link to that video down below. There'll be a link to Orange Spartan's page as well. If there's any of his videos as well where you're like, hey, this is the best one, go and check it out. Obviously, I can look at the view numbers on them, which are all very high. But if there is one there that you think I should go and check out, please do let me know and I'll get on that. And thank you guys for tuning in. I will see you very soon on the next video. Oh, I want to give you, look at this, hold on. I will see you very soon on the next video. Goodbye.